This is day 2 of the Summer Career Experience Program by Potently. Yesterday, we covered how recruiters scan a CV basically within 6 seconds. Today, we go a little bit deeper. We are going to build a CV itself theoretically. And the most important thing to know before we start, you do not need a first class degree or a perfect grade to write a compelling CV. Grades are one data point. A great CV tells a much bigger story. Many participants in career programs feel that degrees or grades disqualify them before they even apply. Today is about dismantling that belief with evidence and practical tools. By the end of the session, you will understand the 4 sections that do the most work for you. And lastly, every participant should feel genuinely capable of writing a CV they are proud of using the Starlight method. I know you must have heard of the Starlight method. It's being used at interviews, but you also use it to write a CV. Let's see how that goes. So here's the number. 76% of recruiters say skills matter more than grades. That's from LinkedIn Talent Trends report, not from me, right? And employers in tech, media, creative industries, and social enterprise are actively moving away from grade-based filtering. What they actually want to know is what have you done, what can you do, and how well do you communicate it. And you see, this resonates with what Potently does, which is backing high potential and not just high grades. So we look for people that are struggling with their grades or people that have graduated and because of grade couldn't get a job, and then we provide them with all the support that we have. So you can check potently.org and understand more with. So now your CV is the answer to those 3 questions, right? And that's the question of what you can do, your potential, and how well you can communicate. And none of them require a 2-1 or even a first class. It just requires the willpower, and that's one of the reasons why we have this program. And I'll be honest, some sectors, law, medicine, finance, do have great cutoffs. But even there, a strong cover letter and interview can override a threshold, and a CV still needs to tell a story beyond numbers. You may be asking what a strong graduate CV should actually looks like. So a strong graduate CV doesn't need to be long. It needs 4 things working well together. First, a professional headline, 1 or 2 lines saying who you are and what you're moving towards. Second, an experience section. This could be paid work, it could be volunteer projects, it could be projects, it could be placement, it could be even intensive programs like this. And anything where you took responsibility and produced an outcome, just put it in there. Don't overthink it. You've helped your mom to stay in the shop. You've done something spectacular, helping her to sell something, and you're applying for a sales job. Put it in there. You're a class rep. Put it in there. You volunteered in class. Just put it in there. And third, a skill section where you put your hard skills like software, languages, and tools, alongside soft skills, backed by brief examples. And fourth is your education, your qualification, institution, and any relevant modules or achievements you have, such as the Potently program or any online certification that you have. So start with this 4 and build from there, and resist the urge to pad 3 well-written bullet points are worth more than 8 vague ones. So this session will guide you towards writing a CV, and gradually by Friday you already have all it takes to write a CV. Then we're going to do a full workshop, right, where we're going to do a CV. We'll pick a dirty CV, a messy CV, and we're going to revamp it together. And we'll also bring in a speaker who is a recruiter to help you answer some questions and motivate you and give you insider tips as regards what recruiters are looking for in CVs and interviews and even on your LinkedIn profile. Now, how to write an experience bullet that actually works, which is a Starlight method. It's a method that I've used. Potentially, I've used it to help a lot of people write CVs, and like ninjacvpro.com also make use of the CV. You can check ninjacvpro.com. They offer amazing CV services as well. And the method simply um, star, which S for situation, and what that simply means is briefly you'd say what the context is. In most cases, one phrase is enough. Then the T is the task. What were you responsible for? And the A is the action. What did you do specifically? While the R is the result. And the result is what changed or what improved because of what you've done. Okay, so you can see this, the how chronologically this is arranged: situation, task, action, and result. That's the star. Then the light part there, where it says star light method, right? So in an interview, it's just star method. There's no the light is there because interview you just need to give context, you need to give details. But in CV, you have to add that light method, which simply means keep it to 1 or 2 lines. Clarity beats lengthy sentence every time. And interestingly, these methods work for interview. Okay, so and everyone has something. Everyone has something. The beauty of this method is that it works on anything. You're running a university school event, you're helping in a family business, you're volunteering in a community project. Everyone has something. The scale is in how you frame it, okay? And that is why we have this program for you, and you can continue following up with the session day by day, and you see how things add up. Now, let me show you a difference. One reframe makes, right? Before we have this, someone write help at event for the student union. But imagine changing this to coordinated logistic for a 200-person student union event, managing 3 volunteer teams and reducing setup time by 40 minutes compared to the previous year. The underlying difference is identical, right? The underlying experience is identical, honestly. But the second version communicates ownership, skill, and it just literally explain what the starlight does. And if you've mastered this, you wouldn't have any issue communicating your bullet point or even answering interview questions, especially the behavioral questions. Now let's look again at the 4 sections that do the heavy lifting. One is your professional headline, 1, 2 lines under your name, the role you're targeting, or the value you bring. Not looking for opportunities, no, your experience reframed. Paid volunteer, you need roles, internship, whatsoever it is, you put it in there. Then thirdly is the skills, whether it's the hard skills or the soft skill, put it in there. And lastly is the education. So just summarizing the 4 key things that do the heavy lifting. You could now start having other sections like publications if you're going for academic and even other things that you've done. And before the end of this week, because this week is brand and CV, so we're going to cover everything on brand and CV. Then we'll bring in a speaker for you. We have a workshop. So we're going to have a full demo where we're going to use CV builders, either the ZT or resume or job scan. We're going to see how you can use a resume builder. But at Potently, we've always used a Google Doc template, which has already been optimized. So with the skills you're going to gain from these sessions, you will be able to just pick our template, go to Google Doc, and you just edit it, and then in your own words, and you tailor it to every application. This is actually more better because when you use AI tools, sometimes it's generic. A lot of people already use that, the same words, and if you use and then editing it may be difficult for you. But when you have the one already in Word, which is yours, and you've mastered how to edit it, in 5-10 minutes you could complete editing it. And then you can always use Grammarly, Quillbot, or even ChatGPT or any other AI tool to probably catch grammars and clarity error. But we always prefer to make use of the editor feature in Microsoft Word sometimes, and then try to give an expert to look into it for you for the first time. So your action for this is that, which is the most important one this week. So take one experience from your life, a job, a project, volunteering, a society, a role, and you are not building a CV yet, right? We're still going to build a CV, but just practice the STAR technique. So using the bullet point, don't worry about being perfect. Write it down, refine it, and then add your reflection. What's one thing you've done that you've never thought to put on the CV? How will you describe it using today's method? Share a bullet point in the classroom stream, or in the WhatsApp group for feedback, or in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube. And just remember that your grades are not your story. Your story is your story, and now you know how to tell it. That is 10 minutes. The work you do tonight feeds straight into tomorrow, because LinkedIn is where that same story goes online. Up next is LinkedIn from scratch. See you then. Cheers.